Today is June 4th, 2024. This morning, I did a few meditations, actually, just listened to them from the Insight Timer app. That app has been pretty good as I'm checking a lot of different meditations, and looks like the teachers in there are all experienced people who have certifications and I have been teaching for a while. I have tried several different random ones, and quite a few of them resonated well. And then I was listening to the Energy of Prayer, that book from Thich Nhat Hanh, which I have been listening for a long time. I don't know how many times I listened to that book, maybe 20, 30 times, or maybe more. It's a small one. It's only about 2 hours and 45 minutes. So that book has been, it's transformative, at least for me. It resonated really well, and it's been transformative. So I continue to listen. During today's meditation, I had some realization. It's interesting when we do different kind of meditations, or we try to connect ourselves to the present moment. We have these realizations. So in some way, how they say the universe is in you, it's just have to tune our frequency to that certain, sort of like a radio channel, how they would say. So you have to tune our frequency to have that realization, to have that understanding. So I had this realization that when I think of the present moment, why it is also so important to live the present moment is because, live in the present moment is because, if you think of it, this June 4th, 2024, this will be only once in your life, this time, this moment that is passing by. We are not going to get this back. Now, when there is unhappiness in life, and there's an Eckhart Tolle video I was listening to this morning where he was referring, he was saying that in Buddhism the suffering is referred as the unhappiness in our life, and there are a lot of times where we may have unhappiness, and so if we accept it, if we know how to accept it, then we can live those moments. And then the unhappiness, kind of, it can be transformed, because in life is full of, it's a cycle, good and bad times. It continues. So you have to figure out a way to how to transform those times. And what I'm learning from Buddhism and other things that I study is that if you can find your happiness from the constant that is there and that always is going to be there, then no matter what happens in life, you can look for those constant. The Mother Earth, the air that we breathe in, the sky, the trees, the sunlight, they're always there for you. So every morning when you get up, when you look for those, the water, right? Water, earth, sun, moon, the blue sky. Well, when it's cloudy And then raining, some of the days when you don't see the sun, that can happen, but majority of the time we get to see the sun. So if you draw your happiness, the energy, and the healing from those constant, then no matter what happens in life, you will always have something that can be anchor for it to come back. They also say that the breathing can be your anchor. I'm still learning breathing mindfully. Should be so simple, right? Because we are breathing all day long, all night long, even when we are sleeping. But breathing mindfully is hard. If you start counting, I think on an average we breathe about 22,000 times a day. And I practiced it. Try mindfully breathing, and you'll see that your mind starts to wander sometime even before the count of 10. A long time ago, I think I was able to, go up to beyond 50. Can't remember exactly, but I could not cross 100. So it is that hard. But anyway, it's only one way. If that doesn't resonate, we can always try other things. It's all about, for me, the other senses work. I listen to lots of spiritual books, so many a time I feel like that the sense of listening, when I'm listening to a book or some YouTube videos or something that really keeps me to the present moment. So sometimes when I'm cooking, I tend to play those books, either using a Bluetooth on my ear or just the listening it on the phone. I play it on the phone, and that helps me to stay in the present moment instead of thinking something from the past or worrying about the future. So yeah, I do that. And the feeling, the sense of feeling with the when it comes to the temperature, and it's interesting because when I used to think of the feeling, like I'm sitting on the couch and feeling the fabric, I didn't usually much think of the clothes that I'm wearing. But when I started doing this with my daughter, 8-year-old daughter Alice, she would talk about that too. And let's say if I'm wearing some bracelet, how that is feeling on my wrist, or the watch that I'm wearing on my wrist, those sort of feeling, they're all connects you to this present moment. So yeah, there are many ways to live in the present moment, but just figuring out and seeing what works, and then staying grounded to those moments can reduce the suffering. Today I'm feeling a lot better. A couple of days ago it was hard with Alice breaking her arm again, but several meditations and other things did really help me to overcome that emotion. And it is okay. Sometimes life is like that. We just have to accept it, and remember it for ourselves that the difficult time will pass. Because like in Buddhism, they say everything is impermanent, good times and the bad. So the important part is to nourish or water the seeds that you want to grow. So if you want the happiness to grow, you have to water the happiness. You have to think of it like a plant. Happiness is a plant, sadness is a plant, anger is a plant. So if you want something to grow, water it, fertilize it, and that'll keep growing. Of course, metaphorical sense. And if you want something to die, say anger or resentment, don't water them. If they're coming to your mind, just don't react on them. Try to, like how they would say in Buddhism, try to think those as clouds that they will pass by. If you don't talk about them, if you don't take any action on those, they are bound to pass. Sometimes they would say that it could be easier to, when you have a resentful thought, replace that with a positive thought. But that is saying that if you're going 50 miles an hour to the left and suddenly you turn 50 miles an hour to the right, and that may not be so simple. So sometime what we may have to do is, as you're going to the left, instead of focusing directly to go to the right in high speed, you just come back, slow down, and then come back to this neutral point. Then it might be easier to go in the other direction and increase the speed to 50 miles an hour. I don't know if it made sense, but generally that's what I tend to say to myself, that sometimes it is easier to come to the neutral point first, because then also we are not beating ourselves up to perform, to be this perfect version of ourselves, because first thing is, perfection doesn't exist. We are all human. We are not God. So there will be things that we love about ourselves. There will be things that we want to improve on ourselves, but we got to accept the way we are, because it's important. If we can't accept ourselves the way we are, how can we accept others to accept us with the way we are? Because that version of ourselves who can't accept those not so nice parts of ourselves, then when those emotions or challenges comes up, that reflects, and especially on our face. They say we have about 300 muscles in our face, and guess what? I remember reading some article or something several years ago. They say that the person you are talking to, when they see you, I think it takes about 3 seconds or less for their brain to recognize the emotion that you are presenting with your facial expression. Imagine that, even before you say anything. So in Toastmasters, they say to grab somebody's attention, or to grab how they're to grab their thought process to your speech, it takes 30 seconds. But guess what? Even before that, in 3 seconds, their brain starts to analyze, and it's not intentional. It is research based. It's unintentional. Our brain starts to analyze and learns and thinks how the expression is presenting getting presented from the other person. So anyway, not that you have to think about it, not that you don't want to you don't want to get paranoid about it, but it is a pretty interesting concept. um, Ultimately, at the end of the day, if you are happy, if your bucket is full, then people around you will realize that, because your face, your body language, and all of these are the reflection of how we are feeling. They say the communication has a rule, which is 738 55. 738 55, yes. So 7% are the words that we speak. It's interesting that word doesn't carry more of the communication weightage, but that's how it is. 7 and 38 is the tone that we speak in. And in some sense, it's kind of weird, because tonality a lot of time would depend on your culture, how you grew up, all of that. But in any case, 38% is tone, and 55% is the body language, and that's a lot too. 55% is the body language. So with everything that went online and virtual since the pandemic, that probably has created little challenge with communication, as in the virtual world, people get to see only this part of the body. They don't get to see your whole body. So either it's a work meeting or other kind of virtual meetings, there is this part that is missing in the virtual communication. But it is what it is. You got to deal with that. But ultimately, all goes back to the living in present moment, and being happy and grateful with what you have rather than what you don't have. There is a prayer in a book, in a place where I read that to pray to God about, to get the wisdom to be grateful for what we have, because a person who is living their life paycheck to paycheck, that person at the end of the day, they themselves and their families could live a happier life than a person who is a billionaire. It is all about being grateful for what you have, because the mind is a machine that will always desire. So it is that training our mind to desire less and appreciate the things that we have. That is the key. That is the key to the contentment, to feel appreciative of everything that we have. Because as long as this life is there, desires can grow. So we just have to figure out a way to train the mind to live with this constant, going back to that earth, air, water, sunlight, the tree, the blue sky, and find happiness and joy on those constants in life, because they will always be there, no matter how the day goes. With that, I'll take 3 deep breaths and then finish the video. I calm my body as I take this deep breath. Calm the body like water. Have a great day. Bye.